Welcome to another episode of Hip Hop Hoops Podcast. I am your host, Anthony Iggy.
And I'm your co-host, Chris Blackwood. What up, what up, what up, what up? Let's go.
Listen, we have Malton Sting in the building.
It's official. I'm in Malton. It's official.
For the day.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We want to introduce the guys, man,
Thanks for having
of
us.
Malton Sting.
So my name is Shiv. Coach Shiv is like to call me Malton Sting. I'm one of the founding fathers of Malton Sting. I handle strength and conditioning and long-term athlete development.
Let's go.
The other co-founder, Kolbir Sidhu. They call me Coach K. A lot of you guys know me as Kobe. We're here, man. We're in the neighborhood. We're in Malton. We got him through. We got him his visa. He's here, baby.
My temporary visa. I'm
He's
here,
from
man.
the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for coming through. Welcome home.
No, thank you for being on the show with us, man. We want to start off by just asking you guys' love for basketball. Like, I know a lot of guys play basketball, watch basketball, but not many have that love for basketball like you. Where did that love come from, man?
Yeah, for me, man, growing up here in Malton, had an older brother. He played at Morningstar when it was a high school. I was probably, his shadow growing up, man, just following him everywhere. I used to cut class to go watch Don't do this, kids. I used to cut class to go watch some legendary Morningstar games when I was at Lancaster in grade 6, man. And then, if you grew up in this community, there was a lot of sports. You had your hockey, Malton Ice Bears. You had your baseball team, and then we had basketball, and we had a lot of great athletes for basketball come out of this town, and I just fell in love with it, man. Played at Morningstar, played right here at Lincoln.
So you played at both. This is the rival.
It was I'm aging myself. It was a middle school at Morningstar when I played there.
Okay.
It was one of the first classes, first championship as a middle school. Really happy to say that. Mr. Skinner was our coach, Coach Skinner. And then I came here to Lincoln, man. And a couple of other, journeys along the way in my basketball career, including England. And now we're right back here with our program.
Nice.
So my story is a little bit different. So I started off with street basketball, the classic.
Yes.
But my
Street
story,
basketball?
street basketball. But my story is a story of inclusion. So basically, I was an overweight kid coming up, and I remember this guy named Nick who wanted to play basketball seriously. So he'd tape up his fingers, and he'd always invite me out to shoot the hoops. He had a classic hoop in front of his garage. So from that inclusion and from that moment, that playing basketball with the neighborhood, that threw me into sports science. So I'm actually have a love for all sports because for me, teams is where it's at. And if you're going to build character, you're going to build discipline. Basketball is a great place to start, man, and take it to the next level. So
Definitely got a lot of transferable traits, you know what I mean?
Yes,
That you can use from the game, any game, really, any sport team, to real life. You know what I mean? So that's what's up. So this is a nonprofit organization?
Yeah.
So
it is.
what made you guys decide to dabble in the nonprofit world?
So, being from this community, growing up here, blue collar family, seeing all types of socioeconomic divide in Toronto. I left, came back, and realized there was still a need. There was actually no competitive basketball program in Malton when I came back here, when we came back here, I should say, with the Sting. And so we really understand the demographics, so we wanted to go not-for-profit and really give back to the community in that sense. I know not-for-profits can pay their directors and stuff like that, but none of our directors, none of our coaching staff are paid.
It's all volunteer.
It's all volunteer. We all have our own careers and other aspirations that we do outside of Malton Sting. And, the love of the game is what really drives us. And then understanding, again, the demographic we're dealing with. A lot of the coaches are from Malton. We really wanted to keep prices low and give back in that sense.
Right.
yeah, I just want to add to that piece of if you're looking to do a service, you don't have to get paid to do it.
Facts.
Right?
You should just want to do it.
So when me and Kay crossed paths, we thought my sports science is basketball, and then our fantastic coaches actually sitting right in front of us, we'll hopefully get to hear them talk as well. Like the passion comes through, and that passion is where it's at. And honestly, Malton is a place where I think the passion is doing a lot of healing.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Definitely.
How long have you guys been running this organization for now?
So I've been coaching for, I think this is my 6th year coaching, but this is our 4th season for Malton Sting. It's been a great season so far. We've got programs Junior MBA is one of our
We'll get
biggest
to that.
programs.
We'll
All
get
right.
to that. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, man.
No,
I'm
hold on. We'll get to
I'm
that.
excited.
Way
I got Woods
too
here,
excited.
man.
Come on, I'm in the building, man.
You guys seeing
Hold
this?
on.
The air smells different out here, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
You can
Just
actually
a little
breathe.
bit,
You can
man.
actually breathe.
There's some oxygen in it.
Oh,
So
man.
question, in
Yeah.
regards to the kids, like how could kids join? Like, and what age groups do you deal with?
So boys and girls, ages 5 all the way to 19. MaltonSting.com, at MaltonSting.bc on Instagram and TikTok. Hit us up if you're looking for a program, if you're looking for elite advanced training. If you're looking to get your coaching credentials, we actually have a coaching apprentice program. We're also paying
Nice.
some of our seniors from last year to help us coach junior MBA.
Nice.
So I know our directors and senior coaches that like myself and Shiv, we're not getting paid, but we're paying the youth to come back. We're teaching them leadership skills, and we're keeping a dollar in the community as well.
Right.
Right. I wanted to talk about when I was growing up in Malton, there was the Malton Mavericks. And we practiced out of Morningstar, I believe. Yeah. Pretty good team, and we traveled all over Canada. We played in Hamilton and stuff like that. Where are some of the places that you guys traveled to so far?
So far, again, season 4. Last year, we were in the CYBL.
Yes.
We did pretty good. We finished in the top 5 after the playoffs. We also got a young man by the name of Calfani Hill, a full ride to a JUCO, Florida State College, Jacksonville last year.
That's
So
dope.
shout out to UK. And this year, man, we've got another bright future, and we've also expanded. So our U19 squad, that roster looks like we've got 2 teams this year. We've grown on that front. We've got a grade 5 boys rep program, and we've got a grade 8 boys rep program. There's 2 teams on that rep program as well. So, just in Ontario so far, we kind of wanted to see what we had at home first before venturing off into,
Right.
the US or maybe other provinces and stuff like that. But, honestly, we're really optimistic.
Right.
The sports science side that he brings in helps break down the athlete's development. And then we've got some great basketball minds here, guys that have some extraordinary playing experience, D1, CIS, U Sports, et cetera, including myself. So collectively, holistically, I think, venturing off to maybe Ohio or somewhere else in the near future isn't too far off for us.
Okay.
Nice,
Yeah, just
nice.
to add there, like to your question, we've had the opportunity to go to Oshawa, Pickering,
Mm.
Vaughan, right? Those pockets,
Right.
and especially now we're seeing the talent. For example, Newmarket. Our boys played against Newmarket, IEM, right? Those teams. So that diversity there, and that they get to see what kind of talent is coming out from other parts of Ontario, really
Right.
shows them how competition is evolving,
Facts.
right? So it's not really an isolated bubble anymore. It's quite a mix up.
Yeah.
So
So are you guys just recruiting Malton kids, or now that you're playing out in Vaughan, Newmarket, you guys must have an itch. You see some talent out there,
great
you may
question.
slap a team and then be like,
question
yo,
right there.
that kid
That's
right
a great
there.
question.
You know what I mean? Do you actually recruit as well to bring guys into the melting pot?
So that is a great question. I think the way, and like we talked about the keyword service, and the way we start about it is anyone who wants to play basketball, and we'll get into it further at a very cost-effective opportunity.
Nice.
If you have a passion for it, we don't want to let you miss out on the opportunity.
Facts.
You could be from anywhere across the globe. If
Mm.
we can make it work, we will squeeze you in.
Nice.
We've given some financial assistance programs to actually a lot of youth, right? So with that said, we are recruiting where our doors are wide open. It's because we understand basketball, especially after the win, the Raptors winning.
Yes.
Right,
It
the
just opened up.
evolution has really,
It's here.
really expedited everything, and I think that's why it wouldn't be right to say, "Hey, you know what? You're from there or from that pocket, and we don't have space for you." No, we always have space. You want to learn? We're here.
Yes.
Like I always tell the kids, you could be a purple alien from outer space. If you can hoop, you're coachable, you got good grades, you got a home here.
Right.
And just because we're a not-for-profit and we keep costs low, doesn't mean that the quality is also low,
Bottom
right?
line.
It's not always, I'm dropping like 15 racks and I'm barely getting 3 minutes on the court and I'm going to become a better player.
Right.
Just because that cost is low doesn't mean that the quality output is low. Like I said, we just got a young man a scholarship. We've got 2 other guys on some college coaches' radars and what have you. So that passion, like he's saying, that we have for this game and the rest of our staff has, it really shines through when the kids are getting better on all levels, actually, from junior NBA all the way to our U19 squad.
So question, with you guys players and stuff, right? How do you guys tap in with their academics to see like who's responsible for that part? Like obviously, the clearinghouse and there's different things to make sure that kids get qualified to play in the NCAA. Who deals with that part? And how do you guys go about it? Like, do you guys sit down with your players and during practice or something? And how do you guys go about that?
Yeah, for sure. So Shiv actually handles all the academics, and then each individual coach that's running the rep program, it's their responsibility to get the midterm report, get that final
Nice.
report,
Okay.
identify what's going on. We have academic coaches on our roster as well.
Mhm.
Look, we were really tired of the best player being the dumbest guy in class. Let's be honest here.
Keep it a
everybody.
buck.
Okay, I could put a bucket in the, I could put up a bucket or two, but I'm scoring 45 on my math quizzes, right? So
Right.
we wanted to avoid that. So our actual motto was elevating the student athlete.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
that's what we preach, me and Woods here. We're all about student athlete, he
For
preaches it like crazy and so do I. So that's very important to us.
Super important, man.
for sure, student first, athlete second.
Exactly.
And then tapping into the U.S., I want to shout out Coach Ro Russell, man.
Hey,
Yes,
He's
sir.
really
Shout
the-
out Russell.
He's really the godfather of basketball in Canada. Ty, one of our coaches, he put me in touch with him, and he was instrumental in kind of opening the door to the the south of the border for us a little bit.
Yes.
So want to shout out Coach Rowe.
Got to.
But yeah, staying on top of the grades is responsibility of each individual coach. Our academic coaches, Coach Shiv runs the education side.
Nice.
And then if I'm getting involved, then you're in trouble. Like you are in trouble if I'm getting involved. So yeah, Shiv, you wanna?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is to give you a picture of what our
Yes.
academic support looks like. So we figure that each student athlete has, obviously you have help in class, and there may be someone that misses that. Then you have people who have tutors after class, and you may miss that as well, right? So then we provide this academic assistance program where basically you're doing bi-weekly math or science help, because from the teams that we've had in 4 years, that's the biggest problem areas. And from there, those are the ones that we target. So how do we target them? It's usually virtual. We had a Peel District School Board teacher who was actually part of the organization at this point.
Y'all moving
Rough.
like the Avengers, bro. You're all with a bit of
They got
everybody.
everything over there.
Exactly.
That's what's up.
And the whole goal is to provide a service at the end of the day where each student athlete that comes through the doors and leaves, they say, you know what, I got nothing else, is that these guys care.
Right.
That's dope.
Caring
That's
adults,
dope.
man.
That's dope.
We need more of y'all, man.
100%, man, 100%.
So you want to talk real quick about the junior NBA involvement?
Yeah. So we're going into our second year with Canada Basketball and Junior NBA.
That's
Shout
big.
out to Benjamin Lee. He's been great from Canada Basketball. It's been really instrumental in the growth of our athletes.
Right.
So the kids that were in it in the inaugural season and a few sessions after that, they're now in our grade 3 to 5 program for
Yeah.
rep.
Nice.
And so we're really using it as a building block. They say they put the fun and fundamentals in that program. It's really true.
Yeah.
Like Iggs was there this past Monday, and
Yes.
the kids are just having a blast.
Super dope, man.
Yeah, well, kids of all skills, boys and girls of all skills, ages 5 to 12. So if your young one is looking for somewhere to develop their skills, you see that they have a little bit of love for basketball, then I would encourage you to look up a junior NBA near you if you're outside of the GTA. If not, hit us up, maltonsting.com.
Nice.
Yeah, I just want to take a quick minute to add some value to the listeners here.
Yeah.
So Junior NBA is obviously Canada Basketball oversight is the
Right.
organization provides it, and that programming runs on something called long-term athlete development.
Mm.
So the reason I bring that big word up is because if you have a niece, nephew, son, daughter, whatever it may be, any youth that's participating in any sport in Ontario, they're supposed to follow a developmental model to build them from a fundamental age all the way to a competitive player.
Right.
So if you see something at practices, and a lot of parents ask us in the junior MBA program, why are you doing this? Or how can I perform and practice with my child at home better? So if you actually Google that, go to Canada Basketball or Ontario Basketball Association, OBA, and you Google long-term athlete development, you will find tips and tricks appropriate for the age of your youth, and you can actually help them grow. And I would ask that you ask your coaches, to take that up with them and say, hey, so this is what this age group is supposed to be doing, and why is this drill being run in a way to help promote that talent?
You
So
just
that's
gave a
tough.
cheat code real quick. That's going to show some of these coaches are not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Hey, either you're gonna be the point of long-term athlete development, either you're gonna go to that next level and play D1 or college or Humber or wherever, or you're gonna be Canada Sport for life. So you're just gonna be hooping in your local rec, adult league, etc.
Right.
And a real quick shout out to the coach that's running junior NBA for us this year, Suk Sidhu. Known him for so many years. He's got an early childhood education background.
Hey.
Appreciate you, bro. I know you couldn't be here today, so just wanted to show you some love.
Yes, sir.
Can I give out some more shout outs?
No,
Come
go
on,
ahead.
man.
Go
This
ahead.
is-
Go.
We're Malton.
You're missing a few people, my man.
Go
I
ahead.
know,
Don't
I know
miss
a lot
anybody.
of people. Coach Sean, the head coach for our grade 8 program, assistant coach Chad Chung. What up, guys? Coach Amit, he's an assistant coach with the grade 5 team. Coach Dina, she just got back from South Africa with Islamic Relief,
Nice.
doing some humanity work out there. So shout out to her. She's assistant coach for the junior NBA this year. Am I missing anyone? Coach Keon, Coach Noellen, Coach Clint. Am I missing anybody?
Coach Noor, who is
Coach Noor.
who is a
Miss
laughing
Tevin, Miss
joy.
Tevin.
Like, she's so good with the
Tevin.
kids; they love her.
Yeah, Tevin Finley. Ty's gonna touch base about Tevin and Jonathan Wallace, who are the assistant coaches
So
on
hold
the
on,
U19
hold on.
team.
How many coaches do y'all have?
We got a lot of programs,
It's like 30 guys
Hey,
right now.
it's a village. It takes a village.
Takes a village.
Yeah,
Real
it's a
talk.
village,
Real
right?
talk.
So the village of Malton, you know,
Yes,
it takes
sir.
the whole village sometimes. So yeah, Tevin Finley. I'm gonna let Ty elaborate on that. They're childhood teammates, and they're still like this till this day. And
Nice.
Jonathan Wallace, also one of Ty's old teammates on the Mavericks, actually.
Yeah.
Sad to see that program go,
Mm.
but kind of happy we were able to come in and provide that service
Yes.
Absolutely.
back
Yes.
again. So
Bring it back.
we're here. We're not going anywhere. So I really
Yes, sir.
appreciate you guys coming in. You have more questions?
No, we're still going.
I'm
We're still
ready,
going.
baby.
We're still going. So we got Northern Kings, we got Grassroots, we got Canada Elite. Why should
We
a
got
kid?
Yace.
We got Yace. My
Come on
bad.
now.
My bad.
Please.
We got Mississauga Monarchs. Is that going here? Like,
No. my
Okay,
fault.
okay.
You're
Why should a kid come to Malton Sting? Like, what separates Malton Sting from other programs?
For sure. Shiv hit the nail on the head before.
Right.
He hit the nail on the head before. We actually care. There's no slipping through the cracks here. If I got to pull you into the gym, I'm pulling you into the gym. That's not the case usually.
Right.
Usually we got to pull you out of the gym.
Yeah.
But what sets us apart is, one, the not-for-profit side of it. Two, understanding that academics, you could be doing, Vince Carter sticking your arm through the hoop, but if you got 30s and 40s, you're not going to be going to university or college to play.
Probably
And-
a security guard dunking the donut
Nothing wrong with that.
into the milk.
Through the legs. Through the legs. But you know what I mean? So
Oh my God.
yeah, I can't take one seriously. First, I thought it was just gonna be like you here and her, but
I'm here, man.
This guy,
Dunkin' the
I gotta
donuts.
sprinkle a little Finch, man.
I'm not
a little bit
even
of
ready
Finch
for
and Malton, man. Just
I'm
a
not
little
even ready
bit.
for this guy, man.
Come on, man. I'm here, man.
But sorry, but going back to it is, one, I'll start again. One, the not-for-profit side.
Right.
Huge.
Two, the academic push.
It's huge.
Okay. Three, we actually care, man. Like, I'm talking to parents that are serious about sending their young one to the next level. I'm tapping in on emails, getting the same question, why should we come to you guys?
Mm.
It's up to you where you want to go. But once you
Right.
get here,
Mm.
you're looped in for life.
Right,
And
right.
you're honestly not leaving. Like I mentioned earlier, our senior boys are coming back from last year that graduated at our university, and they're coming back to coach the younger generation.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think that speaks volumes. Shiv?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a more technical answer.
Ah, there you go.
That's my guy.
I love it. I love it.
and that's just who I am. And I
that's
know
my guy.
and I know everyone, and I know there's parents out there because I get the question all the time, like, give me 5 reasons, give me 6 reasons, give me 3 reasons, right? So I'm gonna give you a few reasons, and Kay outlined the main one. So the one, I want to start with mindset. So we don't give our athletes just Malton. Like, we don't say play for Malton Sting, we actually gave each letter in Malton a value. So
Mm.
that means if someone's from a place like Brampton, they can associate with playing for Malton. It means more than just a geographical place. So M is like motivation. A
Motivation.
is authenticity.
Yeah.
L is
Mm.
leadership.
Mhm.
Yes,
T,
sir.
teamwork. O, ownership. And N for navigation, right?
Yes, sir.
So like those are the values that you're from Oshawa or you're from Spain. It's like,
Right.
oh, you know what? Malton means more than just a place in Mississauga.
I
Right,
love it.
so we
I
give it
love
that-
it. I love
we
it. I
give
love
it
it. I
that-
love it. I
we
love
give it
it.
that meaning, right?
I gotta
And-
snap my fingers for that one. That was good
and
right there.
specifically coming down to value, what Cade really outlined, and this is, so I'll give you a quick rundown. So we have academic mentorship that
Yes.
goes almost bi-weekly.
Got
You
it.
can text any academic coach. Right now we have one. We typically have two throughout
Mhm.
the week. That's one point. Second point, before we even let your kid pay or child pay for a program, we basically give a consultation. It's usually me and another senior coach, and we watch your youth play. So if that level isn't right, we're not gonna take your money. We're gonna say, this is your level. Either leave us in terms
Right.
of if you're above us, which is fine. Every coach has a certain ceiling. So you want to appreciate that. You want to do right because it's
Right.
service,
Mm.
right? That's the
Mm.
second. Consultation. Third is strength and conditioning programs.
Which is vital.
Not of extra charge. Then there's obviously basketball skills work we do.
Right.
All of that with nutrition. All right.
That's
now,
tough.
now watch this. We do 2 hours a week.
Mhm.
20 weeks is a typical season. I've cut down the number. Usually 24, 26.
Right.
We charge $150. Do you know what that comes out to per hour? $3.75. For all
Basically
of that
volunteering,
per hour.
bro.
That's a slice of pizza a week.
Can you get a slice of
Actually,
pizza for
a
that?
slice
So-
is like $6.
Yeah.
now.
There you go.
Can you even get a
Inflation.
slice?
I say all that not to toot our own horn, but I'm saying if a parent comes to me and says, "What do you have to offer?" I say, put all of that in one bucket and take that price point and divide what you're paying for the other organizations. If we beat them at value, that's the truth.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah, and that cost is covering your practice time, your gear.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're getting more than just a jersey. You're getting your warm up gear. You're getting a tracksuit, hoodie,
Yeah.
shooting shirt, and we also work with sponsors, right? So
Right.
sponsors help us keep the costs low. So I want to shout out all our sponsors. We got the Peel Paramedics Union.
Mm.
We've got Lacoste Pharmacy. We've got
Smart.
Stacks Express, their logistics company, and then we've got Hans Dairy. So a lot of these companies have backing. Either they grew up in Malton as a youth and now they're
Right.
doing bigger and better things and want to give back, or like the Peel Paramedics, they're in Peel, they want to support Malton, and these sponsors have been with us for like the last three years out of the
Right.
last 4, and so they see the value as well. And then we're doing some other events around the community.
You guys
too.
worked with Superfam. You guys had something that you guys worked with him.
So,
What was that about?
So Superfan redid the courts at Wildwood, aka Paul
Yes.
Coffey. That's amazing for the community. Even put lights up.
Yeah.
I hooped on the court a couple times, and then this past summer he had his fantasy camp there, and so a lot of our senior boys went there to volunteer. So they got
Nice.
their volunteer hours there, and they helped
Tough.
coach. I was there a few days. I'm not sure if you got to make it out. I know you were really busy that week,
No,
but
no,
some
no.
of our other coaches made it out. And NAV's team's been great. Anytime there's a community event, they always try to reach out and let it be known, there's something going on here in Malton. You guys are Malton. So, and we're basketball and you're basketball. So we want you guys to be here. So I think they'll be bringing it back again next year.
Nice.
We gotta pull up on that, man.
Yeah, for sure. We'll talk when
Hopefully
it comes time.
my membership don't expire.
Just hit me up.
I gotta
I'll
hit
get the
you up.
visa.
All right, bet.
We'll get the stamp.
Let's
We're
go.
good. We
I
can
got
cross the
your word.
border
Thank you,
together. I'll
Coach
come
K.
pick you.
I'm in here, baby.
It all depends, man. Let's see how the season goes, man. Because he talks a kind of crazy sometimes. But
I know. I've been watching.
I think we
We'll
gotta
see,
put him
we'll
on
see.
a contract.
But I wanna just ask. I know you tapped in a little bit about it. What is the end goal, man, for Malton Sting? I know you tapped in a bit about it, but what is the end goal? Like, what do you guys want to see this program become? Like,
Yeah, well, either you're going to be going to that next level and we're going to help you get there, or we're going to identify your other strengths and put you in, sport for life, or through our coaching apprentice program, maybe throw you into coaching if that's what your passion is. End of the day, to us, it's not about how many banners we put up. It's about how many youth we help.
Right.
And,
there you go.
And honestly, like, that's better than a championship ring to me and to a lot of our other coaches. Winning isn't everything, And they say winning isn't everything; it's the only thing. But that's not true. Winning also means off the court, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
if we're creating young men and women that are going to be exemplary characters out in society, that's way better than any ring or chip or anything like that. You know, we're going to be battling on the court, but what happens in the hours when no one's watching?
Exactly.
Are you doing
Yes,
that
sir.
extra homework? You know, I just spoke to Shamari, who's one of our, you know, top level athletes for the U19 team. Coach, I just got back from training. This is training he's doing on his own after practice for his high school team. And now
What high school is he at right now?
he's at St. Paul's in Niagara, so he actually moved.
wow.
He actually moved, but he's a Malton kid, man. But he's still tapped in with us. So
Okay.
we're we're providing them training, offline. Exemplary citizens on and off the court means more than putting banners up for us. We're still going to help you get to that next level if you are a super skilled student athlete.
Right.
But we're also going to keep you looped in with other things. And we have career mentorship. So if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, get into broadcasting, et cetera, we're going to find that link for you guys to what do I need to take in school? How do I get to that next spot?
It's tough.
Yeah, and one more thing, and I think this is, we talk about with the coaches, and the coaches all feel this, and even the community, the parents, is the culture of basketball within the GTA, especially Malton. So one of the visions that Malton Sting has is, yes, you're a non-for-profit, yes, you're charging a certain amount for a certain service, but are you actually creating an environment that the conversation is basketball, the conversation is winning champions? So we talk about Sherman Hamilton. We talk about Bobby Allen.
Yes, sir.
But what about the new age? What's happening today that we're not doing? There's something happening that non-for-profits like us are not addressing as an issue. And so I think what that is, for example, yes, we do one thing in school, we do one thing outside of hours, but then how do we create this wraparound service where one player says, oh, I wake up, it's basketball. My buddies are talking basketball. I go to bed, it's about how do you get better? Right? After school, your guys playing pickup, but it's not just a pickup program. It's a pickup program run by coaches like, had that experience, Coach Tej, Coach Ty, Coach Cooper. So that way it becomes an environment where you're not just playing basketball for the sake of burning calories. You're playing basketball for the sake of going to the next level.
Ah.
So that culture piece is what I think is what we're working on all to connect. And I think that's what this conversation, with the help of you guys, is going to do.
We got a few coaches from Malton Sting in the house. We're gonna start from here. What's your role with Malton Sting?
All right, I'm Coach Tej, and I got a unique thing. I'm not from Malton, so I'm not even gonna try to falsely claim it. I'm from Heart Lake, but
Shout out Heart Lake, baby. Heart
Thank
Lake's
you.
in the building,
Thank
baby.
you.
Let's go.
home of Dave Thomas, Michigan State legend. So,
Hey.
Coach K and I have known each other since probably the mid 90s, early 90s. He was about 13 or 14 years old. He's cousins with one of my old friends from high school. And he was like a young man who was just like, had confidence. And we needed somebody. We were in a tournament and one of our guards sprained his ankle or something. And this guy was just dribbling. He's like, yo, I can fill in. And I'm like, how old are you, man? We were all like 18, 19. He was like, I'm 12 or 13, whatever he was.
Did he have that deep voice?
He had the deep voice. He had the beard, my man. He had everything. I was just like, all right, we'll get him in. So we took him with us. And like, next thing you know, it's the Metro Toronto Police Tournament.
Yes.
All across teams from Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Ontario. And we're running with a 13-year-old, and we ended up going all the way to the semifinals.
Let's go.
We lost the eventual finalists by 3 points. And so that's it. And I was like, yeah, you're hooping with us again. So that's how we met. And then he started this program, and my son is just, how the Raptors win just kind of blew everything up.
Yes,
My son was playing soccer at the Toronto FC Academy at the time, and then just decided to do a full 180 and was like, no, I want to play basketball now. So at the time, we just started shooting hoops in the driveway. I played the game a fair bit, both rec. As Coach Ty knows, in the U.S., everything's NCAA endorsed. So I went to med school in the U.S. at Kent State, and I played for their medical school team in the NCAA thing there. So we used to have like NCAA tournaments there. So I played a bit, was coached, and so I was just running. Then the pandemic hit, And so Coach K was like reaching out to me. I was posting on Instagram. I had like the neighborhood kids. We had a brand new hoop and we were running drills like right in their driveway. We had like, I was running like full practice because I had nothing to do. My practice was closed. I couldn't go to work. So I had all these kids running these drills.
Were they socially distant?
They were masked, man. They were actually masked. As a
there,
doctor, it was like, I had to make sure it was, we kept it 100 on that one.
Yes.
So these kids were like running drills and stuff in my driveway. And then eventually like they needed somewhere else to go, right?
Yes.
My expertise had run out. So he had the Malton Sting Junior MBA program running at the same time. So I brought the whole lot of them over to that program. And lo and behold, they graduated and these guys were like, look, these kids need somewhere else to go to. Thanks. So they opened up the grade 3-5 rep program. And I take so much joy from that coaching them at the driveway. And so we just kind of transitioned into it. My son's playing on the rep team and I became one of the coaches now. And man, it's like, Wednesdays, I start texting this guy. I know he's busier than I am at work because I'm lazy. I sit back and relax, let my staff do a lot of it. And I'm like texting him like 2 o'clock. I'm like, yo, I got a new drill. I just saw this on the YouTube, or I saw this, or I think they're gonna need to learn how to do pick and rolls. And he's like, I got real work to do. Like that's practicing for like 6 hours right now, right? But man, it's been so exciting. Like my Wednesdays are all revolving around like practices at Malton Sting right now, and it's a blessing just to like have that joy. Like it's another bond for me and my son. Like we got video games, like like we play like FIFA all day together. But like Wednesdays, like he's coming back and being like, Dad, that drill, right? Like should I take this? I'm like, wow, I'm talking basketball with a 9-year-old. Like how me and him ended up growing up talking out, right? We drive back from all these tournaments and stuff, and he'd be like, yo, T, like what should I do? No, you can't shy away from contact. Like get to the rim. That's if you don't make the bucket, getting the foul is just like little things I'm talking to him about 15 years ago, I'm now telling my 9-year-old. So it's crazy how life works on that. So that's my role there, man.
Nice.
Just trying to keep these kids
So
involved.
quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
Are you a Lakers fan?
I'm a LeBron James fan.
Come on. So you're not too happy right now?
No.
With that 5 and 11 record.
You saw the tattoo. You saw the band, right? Yeah. No, I went to school in Cleveland at Kent State. So I moved there the same year LeBron was drafted.
Right.
Okay.
So I would say I'm less of a Raptors fan and more of a LeBron James Cavaliers.
At least he's
fan.
honest.
How did that town look when he left? Were you there when he actually left to Miami?
I left. I was there. I was working when he left Miami, and it was tough, man.
It was tough, right?
It was tough. Like I know one of our closest friends, they had poured all their money into a business, like a sports bar downtown. Shout out Dave Thomas in Houston right now, within like 3 months, they went bankrupt. Like it was tough. And that's just like one story. Like LeBron was a one-man economy for that city.
That's crazy.
It was tough.
About that, man.
Shout out LeBron, man. Shout out LeBron,
Thank you.
man. He's the king, man. He's king for a reason.
5 and 11. But anyways, go ahead.
I'm Coach Ty, assistant coach of the under-19 team.
Nice.
Malton through and through. I grew up my whole life here. Went to Eastern Commerce for high school.
Hold up. What?
Yeah, facts.
How are you doing that commute every morning? Jumping on the 11 and like.
Yeah, I was grinding. That shit was crazy.
Who was coaching back?
Mac, Kevin Jeffers.
Oh my
Shout out
God.
Kevin Jeff.
That's
Yes,
my
sir.
guy.
That is tough.
Yeah, so after Eastern, I got a scholarship. I went D1. I went to Howard University.
Nice.
Yeah. Now I'm just helping out. How'd I get? Well, Malton Sting, I think I was doing other programming that didn't have anything to do with basketball within the neighborhood. And I always wanted to get into basketball somehow. And I saw that a lot of the kids were posting a lot of the clips from the social media stuff that Malton Sting does.
There you
And
go.
I was like really excited because I was like, I always wanted to find a way to give back through basketball because I knew I was always really excited when I saw some of the guys that had like D1 experience and stuff like that give back, like Rock, Jermaine Anderson. I'm sure you guys
That's
have
my
seen
guy.
him.
Rock,
Shout out Rock.
Yeah, I remember he came here when I was in grade 8 and it was a big deal. Like, so I just always try to give back in whatever capacity I can. And whenever I saw it, I reached out to Coach K and he was really receptive to me and excited to have me on. And like within like a day and a half, I was an assistant coach. So
Question for you though. Did you not want to play professional or anything like that? Like how was your career after Howard?
So what happened is Howard University is a place where like, first of all, it's a historically Black college.
Yes, sir.
And a very pristine one at that. So you kind of get around a lot of these Black kids and you realize like in Malton, we don't really have many aspirations outside of basketball or entertainment and stuff like that. You get around a bunch of kids that want to be lawyers, doctors, their parents own big businesses, they're judges, and you're like, yo, there's other things I could do outside of this world besides play basketball. And
It's huge.
it kind of took me there. And I kind of got lost in that and been grinding ever since.
I want to shout you out though for you just got your master's, right?
Yeah.
So I want to shout you out for
That's
that.
Appreciate that.
That's
Appreciate that.
big. I seen that on the gram, and I just was like, I was so proud, for you accomplishing that. So
Thank you.
shout
I
out
appreciate that
for that
real.
for sure.
Yeah, man. That's great for the kids to see too. Man.
Yes, sir.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Not just basketball, but on the education side and just the life side, man.
Yep.
Like you could have went pro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you chose not to. You know what I mean? But the most important thing is you got the scholarship. I think a lot of kids and parents, I think once you get that Division I scholarship or any scholarship, it could be youth sports or in the States.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Your parents don't got to pay for school,
Yeah.
post-secondary. You know what I mean? It's a free education. And I think that's one of the goals.
Yeah, for
Playing
sure.
at a young age, you want to get that scholarship so your parents don't got to pay.
Yeah.
And another
man.
big deal for me is that he's another Malton guy that had a scholarship. So,
Yeah.
when
There's a
me and
bunch
you're
of
having
us.
our battles,
Yeah.
I didn't even mention him.
No, we didn't still.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
There's
we can
another
mention it,
one.
we can mention it.
There's
That's-
another one right
There's
there.
a bunch
So,
of us. There's like 3 of us from my class.
yes, and you got Tev.
Yeah, Tevin Finley is another coach.
Yes, sir.
He went to University of Wisconsin, Greens Bay.
Just
D1.
another one. Just
That's big, man.
Yeah,
Another
Jonathan
one.
Wallace. He went to University of Guelph. Had a really good career there. He's another assistant coach on our under
we got
19
youth
team.
sports
So
too, if you want,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, dope coaches, a lot of good experience and good people. So
They're character guys, man.
yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
like that. I like that.
Yes, sir. And we got the best for last.
Cool.
man.
Let's go.
All right, so my name's Cooper. They go by Coach Coop. I've been playing basketball since 2005, about 17 years, and I've been playing with Ty for a long time. I played high school at Ascension here.
Shout out Ascension,
Yeah,
man.
A squad all day. I
Hey.
just
Yes,
started. I
sir.
just started
Come on.
coaching them. Actually, we have our first game on Monday against St. Roch. We're gonna whoop their ass.
Hold
I don't
that.
care.
Hold that.
If anyone on here sees it, I want you to know. Ascension all day. Won't until I die.
Let's go.
After high school, I unfortunately wasn't given the opportunity of any scholarships or anything like that, but I did get a chance to play junior varsity at Sheridan
Nice.
for 2 years. And that was a great experience because that had a lot of guys from the varsity team that were playing down.
Right.
And there were chances to play up. It just, politics and like things
Oh,
like
that
that, right? It's how it goes everywhere, right? And but much after that, I decided to I kind of laid low off basketball until one of my older coaches from back when I was younger reached out to me to start coaching, and I started coaching with him for a bit. But once again, politics had come up and things kind of went south, so I had to steer away from that. And that's when Kay reached out to me and was like, come back home and, we need some help here. And I said, yeah, for sure, I'll be here.
Coach
And
K got that eye, eh? He got that eye.
Coach
He
K.
got that eye for talent, man. That's how you jury.
for sure,
go,
for sure.
man.
He knows what he's doing. No,
Definitely.
So you're coaching which teams?
The U19 team.
U19?
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
go.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Wow. It's a beautiful thing to see, especially you guys coaching the U19 guys. You know what I mean? Because they're getting ready to pivot either to U Sports, Division I, OCAA. You know what I mean? And they got such great mentors,
Yes,
guys
sir.
that's been there
Yes,
at
sir.
the highest level. You know what I mean? College level to university level, Canada to the States. You guys all touch that. So your boys are in some good hands, man.
Yes, sir.
Great hands.
Yes, sir.
Guys, all right, U19, playing time. All right? I think playing time is a huge thing. You have your rotation, you have your project players, you got your guys that are like maybe 11th on the bench.
What do you mean
12th on-
project plays? What does that mean?
Like, I call them project players, like, you know. Yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna take
2
time
years
for them
away
to
from being
develop.
2 years
They're,
away.
they're developing a little slower,
Alright.
but you can see their potential.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you can foresee their potential.
Okay.
And
I
they're
ain't a
gonna-
coach, man.
and
so,
they're
you
gonna
know.
and they're gonna be a problem. But how do you keep those guys outside of your rotation? How do you keep those guys motivated? And most importantly, how do you keep their parents from getting
my
at
God.
you and eating out your back
Oh, my
for not
God.
playing their child?
Oh,
Well, the first thing I say is I don't care what the parent thinks. I'm just
Let's
gonna be
go.
I'm just gonna be plainly honest,
Bottom
right?
line, you got it.
If
You got
if
it,
you think you know what you're doing, let's trade places. How
Bottom
about
line.
that? That's just what it is.
I love
right?
that. I love that. That's
It's
like
just
so
it's simply
raw,
what
so
it is.
real.
I'll tell you personally, and Ty could speak to it too if he wants to. But I was one of those guys at times in years. I was at the end of the bench watching,
Right.
And my dad was the assistant coach, and my mom was there cheering just as hard every game. She never
gave you no
complained.
minutes, man.
Hey, sometimes just
Was it awkward when you guys got home?
Oh, I mean, it wasn't.
fight
It wasn't.
still.
It wasn't.
Minutes today, though, like?
All I'm gonna say is
What?
it wasn't that. I wasn't that good or any of that. It was that our team was really stacked. We had some great players on our team.
But when you got in,
You work.
You work.
And there were times where you started and you didn't get much, but when you go in, you put the work and people notice. You keep going and you'll see it, and eventually
earn
it
the
turns
trust
out
of your
exactly.
coach. Whatever type of minutes you get, and that's just another gem from Hip Hop Hoops and our coaches here at Malton Sting. Guys, please, parents, don't get involved. Let the coaches do what they do, and
Please.
you know what I mean.
Stay on
That's
the
tough
other
right
side
there.
of
Just
the
stay
court
on the other
and
side,
let
man.
us do what we're
Encourage.
doing here.
Definitely.
Right? There's a
Have you
reason
guys
why.
had any altercations with parents? Like, get away from me. Let me coach. Like, anything?
No, I haven't had no altercations with coaches. I feel like I try to do the work early, like in practices, like kind of talk to kids. Because I always hated like when I play ball, and I was one of those guys. You think you're going to play a lot based on practice, and games get here, and you're like, "What? I played the whole practice."
Right.
So I kind of talk to kids kind of early in practice, let them know like, "Yo, you're not doing this well," or "Yo, you need to do this a little bit better if you want to play more. You're a guy that's probably going to get 15 to 20 minutes. Let's try to bump that up to 25 if you do X, Y, and Z." So that when game time comes, there's no surprises with parents, players, anything like that.
Okay.
I think there's another thing is like, as Coach Shiv had mentioned earlier, like playing time's not the only currency to measure things by, like your development, right? So much of it is are you coming out better? Are you coming out better from the culture? Are your grades improving? Are all of a sudden you're breaking out of your shell? Like the basketball is not the only currency which we're measuring the student athlete with. And so if playing time becomes like only one component of it. We can look at a parent at the end of the year and say, did your child come out better? Okay, maybe they didn't get 38 minutes a game.
Right.
But can you honestly tell us that they didn't come out better out of this program? If you can, hats off to you. But I bet you the parent of the person who's at the end of the bench will still look at Coach K and Coach Shiv and be like, no, we're going to sign you up, our kid up next program, because there were so many other facets that they grew. They learned the game better. And you can see progress, right? That's the one thing is that you can see a progression. It's frustrating. I'm a parent, so it's frustrating when your child is flatlining and the coaches aren't communicative. What's really important, as Coach Ty said, is they're very communicative. Look, this is what you need to work on. You want to get more playing time? They're very specific. I'm not going to mention a specific player's name, but I asked Coach Kim, like, he looks so good in practice. Why isn't he getting playing time? He goes, he freezes up in game time. So we've talked to him. All this stuff that you see him hitting right now, game time comes in, he won't take that shot. He'll look timid. So I pulled him aside and we're like, talking like, this is your shot. You do it. But you could see he's developing other skills. And so now he's breaking out of his shell. So there's so much other currency to measure by.
Yes, sir. So I remember you had the one young lady that she was at the community center. I forget her name. She actually has a podcast too.
Yeah.
Very good basketball player.
Shout out to Malek.
Yes.
She's playing at XL this year.
Yes,
Where
I've seen her in the
Mr.
summertime.
Graham, the old coach from
Mr. Graham.
right here at Westwood, he's an academic advisor. Shout out to Mr. G, man. We don't have to talk about that. We can save that for part 2.
Well, I learned a lot about the history of Malton in regards to the ballers that came out of Malton on all levels. I felt like I may have been a little disrespectful. Just a little bit. A little bit.
Slightly.
Just a little bit. You know what I mean? 'Cause understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from Finch, Jane and Finch.
Do we have to put
I still
this guy
feel
through
like
the
it's
table?
the mecca of basketball. But anyhow, I know when we caught you guys in like summer tournaments, you guys, all your top ballers know what it was. But anyway, that's another story for another day. What does the history of Malton basketball mean to you guys?
Hey, that's how I fell in love with this game, man. Following my brother around, learning about all the players. Like we just had Bobby Allen stop by on Wednesday.
Shout out Bobby Allen.
Yeah, shout out Bobby Allen, man. Probably one of the best guys from this neighborhood ever. I
Top
think.
1, 2.
Yeah, he was voted
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think
in
he
the
was
country.
voted in by a magazine or a blog as the best Canadian player ever. Steve Nash speaks so highly of him till this day.
Yes,
so
sir.
we got Bobby, we got Jerome Robinson, we've got some other guys that Ty had mentioned
Sherman
earlier.
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
We're gonna see him on Sunday. We'll be at the Raptors coaches clinic. So shout out
Hey.
Sherm. I always let him know we're from MA, and he's
Yes.
always like, "Yes, guys, happy to see you." He used to come by here when I was going to high school here at Lincoln and come coach us during the winter break sometimes. So shout out to Sherm. Jermel Kennedy, like I mentioned, Bikram Gill, another guy that I've known from the community also for a long time. But
we got Dale Parsons too, man. We got
shout out Dale, man.
I always forget about him for some reason. He was a killer on the court, man.
For sure. I mean,
he went to a sanction, so we'll shout out a sanction one time.
hey, but going back to the history, late 80s, early to late 90s, it was always Morningstar versus Westwood. Yes. Ropsa, Ofsa, when Ropsa and Ofsa really meant something, right? Yep. And, maybe on the next pod, I can pull out how many championships those two schools fought over the last, I don't know how many decades.
It goes real deep, man. With the King brothers, Isaac, Vance King. You got Shane Bosco. His daughter's doing amazing things right now. She's dope. It goes deep, man. So
Mike George doing the agent thing now.
No, he's an agent. Right. It goes deep, man. Malton roots, man. They're crazy.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, and I know we're short on time here, but for myself, in learning it from the big brothers like you guys, the Malton history, I'm not from Malton, but over the past 4 years with Sting, what I've learned from Malton comes from all the parents I've talked to from Malton. And one of the pieces they say is, and what hurts me, and I never, and like I said, I'm not from Malton, but what hurts is now that piece of culture, that there's so much there, so much gold to mine,
right? So
much opportunity, and now there's a disconnect. And to me, it's like, if it's there, how do we keep it going?
Right. I think you guys are keeping it going. You guys are slowly, or if not, a staple right now in Malton. And I went to Concordia. I went to, obviously, U Sports in Montreal, so thank you for the sweater. That B really symbolizes a lot
got
to
it
me.
on camera.
You know what I mean?
He was so happy.
I got a sweater. I'm gonna rep it in Westview. You know what I mean? I got my Malton Sting. I'll be rocking it at Westview. You see me walking the halls. You'll see me in the halls, baby.
But what do you guys have else coming up? Like, let's let the people know. Like, what do you guys?
Hey, like I said earlier, and like you guys know, we're a not-for-profit. So anytime the community has something going on, we're always involved, whether it's Mandy and the Give Back Backpack Drive every summer, or GLE, Grow, Lead, and Excel. Miss Lowe from Ascension has a program where she helps the youth, gets them to do leadership things like us as well. And then actually, thank you organization, IAH Beauty. They're doing a gift drive, food drive over the next 2 weeks.
Let's go.
You can drop off stuff. Check out our Instagram, maltonsting.bc. You'll get all the information there. And then December 17th, along with the Keep Six organization, the PO Police, paramedics, and then Home Trust, we'll be doing a pancake gift drive and then a charity game against the PO Police on December 17th. Go. So if you guys want to come through, have some pancakes with us.
I'll definitely grab some pancakes, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. Come catch a game.
I would like to hoop, though.
You want to play in the game?
I want to give the boy them some buckets,
Should we put them in the game? We'll put them in the game,
some buckets, though,
you got your jersey from last year, right?
Yeah, I still got it.
Listen, but if he comes, you got to wear the hoodie.
I'll wear the hoodie.
But you can't
I'm gonna have some kicks to match, too.
Chris, you can't play them.
It's okay. It's
Sorry.
okay.
You can't play.
You know what? He's gonna want to take all the shots. Watch. He's gonna get mad at you guys. You
Guess
stay
who's
there.
coaching? Me. So I'm sorry, sir. If it's not working out, I'm gonna have you sit down.
Listen, I will shoot.
You gotta pass the ball,
but
Iggs.
they're gonna go in. Don't worry about it.
I hope so.
Man.
Well, there you have it, man. Malton Sting, man. Let's go.
Let's go, man.
Take us out, baby.
Hey, you know what it is, man. Shout out Malton Sting, man. Definitely got a history lesson. You guys keep doing what you're doing in the community.
Yes, sir.
On the court, off the court. You're an inspiration, even to guys in Finch. You know what I mean? Hey, you can follow us on IG at hiphop.hoops.com. Not .com, but at hiphops.hoops. Apple Podcasts. We got a website. Follow us. YouTube. Subscribe. Share. Like. Do all that good stuff.
Notification bell.
Because this interview right here is gonna run up them numbers.
Yes,
let's
get it
go.
up. Let's get it up.
Let's go.